I'm just wondering, if anybody's done any research into HARP and smart meters. I think it would be kind of a fascinating, sort of off-road exercise there.
I can't say anything for sure, but what I can say is that 2 years ago, if you'd asked me whether electromagnetic fields have health impacts, I would have laughed at you as some crazy conspiracy theorist.
Right.
And then, I did the research. I looked at. I've interviewed hundreds of people about this. I am absolutely convinced that that it does have a health impact, and that it does have neurological effects and changes the way we think. And so that revelation that, hey, this is not just some wacky conspiracy theory of tinfoil hat, nutters, but this is actually a legitimate political and social issue that needs to be addressed. That's sort of led me to question a lot of the other things that I was previously dismissing, such as chemtrails or the HARP program. And
right.
It's an absolute documented fact that the military has developed the technology that we need to use cell phones, that the military has done a lot of testing on the neurological and biological effects of this technology,
mm-hmm.
And that there are potential military and national security uses, and that, the fact that mainstream groups are increasingly looking into the sky and going, how come that jet is releasing a stream of stuff into the air and that jet isn't? And I think those are legitimate questions. I don't think that we should just trust what the government says or trust what the industries say. I think that for too often when we have trusted those entities, we've ended up being betrayed. And so most people use cell phones, and why do they? And most people assume that they're safe, but where are we getting that information from? And
right.
I think we just need to be doubly cautious in everything that we do. That we can't just assume that with this government in power that our health or our safety is being prioritized. That we really need to take it upon ourselves to do the research or to talk to alternate sources and to be skeptical, because I know too many people whose lives are being cut short by brain tumors associated with their cell phone use. I've given up my cell phone a year ago. I just don't. I think it's absolutely insane to hold what's essentially a low power microwave to your head.
Right.
And as soon as I gave up my cell phone, several months later, I became, sensitized to wireless technology. So I think that there's something that the cell phones are doing to people. It's sort of like I don't know if you've ever smoked, Robert, but smoke cigarettes, but when you smoke a cigarette, it tends to sort of dull the pain receptors in your lungs, and you become desensitized to secondhand smoke and other stuff, fire
right.
smoke. And when you quit, all of a sudden, the last thing you want to be around is a smoker, and you become really sensitive to smoke. And I think it may be something along the same lines with cell phones, is that when we're constantly inundated, when we're holding this really strong source of microwaves next to our head, we're sort of being desensitized from all this other wireless that's around in our environment. But when we give up the cell phone, we become sensitized to it, and especially with these smart meters pumping out really high levels of radiation, that's increasingly sensitizing people.
Right.
So, yeah, it's an issue that the mainstream media refuses to investigate or present, the issue of electromagnetic sensitivity, because it would really blow the whistle on the fact that this assumption that wireless technology is safe is not grounded. It's not grounded in fact. It's not proven. In fact, basically just the opposite at this point.
Well, yeah. Well, it sounds like you're making progress, which is good. I mean, let's round off our chat together with a recognition that you're making some progress here. And I want to thank you for all the work that you're doing, Josh. And people, if they want to find out more about this, they can go to stopsmartmeters.org, and they can donate to the cause so they can keep you kind of moving and grooving, and then find out more about the information and what they can do to keep it from happening in their environment. So
absolutely,
thanks for coming on today, and thanks for being patient. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Robert. I really appreciate it. People, it can be a little overwhelming, this topic at first, but we're here to support you. We're here to support people, organizing groups in their own neighborhood and resisting, and that's what we do. We offer technical assistance. We offer advice on how to organize, how to resist this, and people can volunteer their time or donate money. We would certainly appreciate that. And there's a lot of more information and frequently asked questions on our website at stopsmartmeters.org.
Okay, great information there. Thanks again, Josh, and have a great weekend, okay?
Thank you, Robert. Take care. All the best.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Joshua Hart, stopsmartmeters.org, and that's about 50 minutes worth of really power-packed information that you can actually use in your life. You can, if you have a smart meter attached to your house, you can go to his website. You can download the form letter. You can send it into PG&E or the Southern California. What is it? It's something Edison down in Southern California, and you can begin to reclaim the space in your home. Now, what's important here is, and we didn't really touch on this, is that if you have a smart meter, there's a very good chance your neighbor has one and your neighbor's neighbor has one, so you can begin to reclaim your space. But if you really want to reclaim your space, you need to go throughout your neighborhood and get other people on board. Now, that may be easier said than done. So, but at least, start at home where you can make a difference. Okay, I want to thank my guest today, Dr. Phil Valentine from the Kemetic Sciences world, and his interesting work on our president, Barack Hussein Obama. I want to thank Josh Hart from stopsmartmeters.org. I want to thank my chat maven, Janet, for being the chat maven that she is, and everybody else in the chat room for showing up, hanging out, and also anybody else that's listening. Thank you for listening to the program. My name is Robert Phoenix. You can go to my website, robertphoenix.com. If you enjoy this type of media, and it's meaningful for you to get information like this from people like Joshua Hart or Dr. Phil Valentine, go to my website and support independent media. I've got a chip-in function on the top right-hand side. I don't charge for this show. In fact, I pay to have this show on Blog Talk Radio, believe it or not. I pay them. So if you like it, like what you hear, and you want to support the continued flow of media coming in your direction, I urge you to do that. I also do astrology. I'm an astrologer. I do charts. I do readings. It's another way that you can support this experience, and I can support you at the same time. So robertphoenix.com is where you can go to find out more about all those nodes of contact. Okay, I'll be back on Monday with the mashup, and we're going to be doing, I think, taking a little bit of a different tack with the mashup on Monday. We're going to change things up a little bit. So I'll see you on Monday, though, and you know the drill. Use your head to discern what's real, your heart to stay open to what's possible. I'm Robert Phoenix. I've been your host, and you've been listening to the Friday Farcast. Take care.